Okay. So you got a few plans in place that used to have a commission-based plan, which made it really good for people just to try out. And they do have a 3-day free trial. So when you first sign up, you get a 3-day free trial just to give it a go. So by all means, sign up, give it a go. We'll have a referral link for you guys. It'd be nice if you guys use our referral for it. You do get a discount, I believe, when you use it. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, they used to have a commission-based plan, which was really good for people who aren't trading with a lot of money because there's no ongoing monthly fees. You just pay a small commission per trade. But for some reason, it seems to have disappeared for now, so I don't know why. But as a starter plan, $24 a month. This is US, and that's on an annual subscription. So if you went to a monthly base subscription, which I do recommend, because there is periods where you'll probably not need to trade on 3commas. When the market's like this, for example, I'm not using 3commas at the moment because I'm only really trading on BitMEX, and I'm just trading a single pair on Binance. So I don't really need to use the features of 3commas right now. So I do suggest month-to-month basis. It doesn't automatically take money from your account. You have to physically go and authorize the account again. So that way you can sort of trade for a month. And if you want to have a month off, just don't pay your account. The $29 a month plan is probably the best choice for most people getting started. You don't have the option to use your bots, but to be honest, the bots on 3commas aren't that good. They're okay. They're a cool little feature, but in terms of bots, they're pretty shit in terms of what else is available. So that nice cheap plan is ideal. They have changed their structure a lot. It used to be the cheap plan used to only have I think one exchange or something like that. Now I think it's unlimited. 40-month plan, obviously, you just get the simple bots, a little bit different. Yeah, you can use your own signals from TradingView as well. So you can use your own scripted, your own scripted signals and stuff from TradingView as well, or other people's ones. I'll just go into the compare plans for you. I think they're all pretty much the same. Yeah, apart from the bots, they're all pretty much the same now. Obviously, with the higher up plans, you can use the bots and stuff, and also the shorting for BitMEX as well, I believe, which is somewhere there. So yeah, choose a subscription that you like. I recommend probably just starting with the nice cheap one to begin with, and you can pay via, what can you pay? PayPal. So you got credit card, AdV, cash. I'm not too sure what that is, but you can use coin payments as well. So you can pay in crypto, which is pretty handy. Okay, so once you've got subscription set up, the first thing you need to do is set up your API and an exchange. So if you click on My Exchanges on the left-hand tab, that'll take you to this screen here. I've already set one up at the moment, but you can click on Connect to a new exchange. And you're basically wanting to insert a set of API keys. You can give it a nice name. So if it's your Bittrex account or whatever, you just call it My Bittrex account or something like that. And you can select your different account here. So you can see all the different exchanges that it works for: Binance, Bitfinex, BitMEX, Bitstamp, Bittrex, CEX, Coinbase Pro, Cryptopia, BTC, KuCoin, OKEX, yeah, the works. So you can trade from many exchanges all from this one interface. So you simply select the account you're going to use. So in my case, it'll be Binance. Go to your Binance account and go to APIs, API settings, for those who haven't done this before. So once you go to API settings, you can create a new one. Again, you can give it a nice name. So you just call it My 3commas account or something like that. Create the API key. It'll spit out a key. You've got to go through the process of confirming the email and whatnot. And then you'll simply type in the copy and paste your API key and your secret key. Now, these boxes are ticked to enable 3commas to read your account, and it can also trade your account, but it cannot withdraw your account. So you're safe in the terms of your money's not going to go missing out of your account, put it that way. Once you put your keys in, create account, and you will be ready to rock and roll. Okay.
And that is one of the major features of 3commas is that it does allow you to connect up to 12 exchanges. So it definitely lets you to the market, and the amount of exchanges you can have at any one time also increases with your membership status. So it's definitely a handy feature to have.
Yeah, so if you've got some money on KuCoin, you've got some money on Binance, you might have some money on Bitfinex or Bittrex or whatever, you can trade any of your pairs, any exchange, all from the one interface. You don't have to log on to this one and then get your 2FA for that and this and that. You can just do it all from the one. 3commas also has 2FA security when you sign in as well. So it is quite secure. I've been using it for quite a while. I've never had any dramas.
Can you arbitrage trade, Don?
Well, essentially you could, but you'd just be sending, you would, yeah, you could, but it'd be a bit of mucking around. Never been a fan of it. Once you have your exchange set up, you can, as I said, you can set up multiple exchanges. You can have them all here, and you can sort of view basically what's going on at the moment. As you can see, this has only got BTC in at the moment, so the pie graph's just showing just BTC, a big green or blue circle. That's probably pink for Ty. He's colorblind. If I was obviously holding, say, half Ethereum or something, then the pie graph would change. It will show your total balance in BTC and the total balance of that account in US dollars as well. You can refresh it just in case it's showing a bit of a difference between your account. One handy feature that 3commas has got, and this is also available on the app as well, because 3commas has a phone app which you can do everything from as well. It has this handy button called Sell to USDT. So if you are holding a bunch of different coins, you've got 10 grand tied up in a whole bunch of shit coins, and the market looks like it's about to turn, and you need to liquidate all assets, you can click this button and it will market sell all of your assets back to USDT. You're locked in your USD value and you're sort of safe to go. Let the market do what it wants to do, then you can go look at jumping in. So this button's also on your phone as well. So like I said, you know, if you're in a situation where you're on a train or something and your mate sends you a message, say, bro, you know, Bitcoin's about to eat shit, you know the market follow it, so you can quickly open up the app and go bang, sell to USD, bang, you know, you're gone, you're out of the market. Pretty handy feature. You click on view and it will sort of dive into your exchange a little bit and show you what you're holding. Obviously, I'm only holding Bitcoin at the moment, so it doesn't really show much at all, but it will show you a graph of what you're holding. Obviously, I've got some BNB tokens as well because I had some scrap in there. So it'll show you sort of a graph of what you're holding and the change over the 24 hours and all that sort of stuff. Some handy features on here. Handy features on here of the share value of your portfolio and things like that too. So it has some pretty handy features. Just even looking at the portfolio itself, a lot of good visual representations. Gives you a lot of info here. So as your portfolio gets tracked with all your trading and stuff, it'll show you your profits and losses and everything like that for the month. So it's really handy to just keep a diary on even. And obviously the more you get, the more exchanges you have, it all rolls into one. So you can have, like I said, you can have multiple exchanges and look at each individual exchange. Or if you go to dashboard, it'll actually sort of chuck all of your exchanges together into one portfolio, which is this one. So this is essentially your entire portfolio. You know, if you had 5 different accounts, it'll all be in this one, and it will give you your overall of how things are going. This is more of just a bit of a news page in terms of what's going on 3commas. There's a lot of other features that we'll go through in a minute. But yeah, the dashboard's just your main focus. Shows you what they're developing at the moment. So at the moment, they're developing bots for BitMEX, IDEX integration, TradingView chart integration, which it already has, signal marketplace. So obviously people can sell their different TradingView signals. Release features. So these are things that they've just released because they never used to have bots for Bittrex. They only had bots on Binance. And obviously now they've got a few different ones. Short bot change, custom TradingView signals they've obviously released recently as well. So that's kind of handy just to see what they are doing. If you are running bots, it can show you your profits and losses on how well your bots are acting and your smart trades, which is the main feature of 3commas. I'll get into the smart trade shortly. The next thing I'd like to go over is the trader diary. So as you progress and trade, this will sort of keep track of everything, and you can actually make notes and things like that. So this is good for people who wanted to do your taxational purpose things like profit and losses and all that sort of stuff. So you can keep track of everything in your trader diary, which is pretty handy. Now the bots, won't go into too much detail with the bots because Ads is going to cover bots on Thursday using a different program. As I said, the 3commas bots are kind of basic. They're handy. You can use them and they do work. I've used them before. But in terms of how they're triggered and what they can do, it's very, very basic compared to the more advanced bots that Ads will go over. So this is just like the bots marketplace, more or less. These are other people's bots, and it can show you how well they've gone today. And you can actually go in, view their configuration, and you can copy and paste it and virtually copy their bot and turn it on. And hopefully you'll have as much success as what they have. So obviously the highest one at the moment was a short bot on BTC MTH. And that had a profit per day of 2.79%. Yeah, so there's some pretty cool stuff. So they've introduced short bots now, which obviously buys and sells at lower prices and stuff like that. Obviously, when the market's a bit flat, you don't really see that high of a percentage gain on these, but on a good market, you'll see some decent movement. So next, you click on My Bots. Before I go in My Bots, I will go to Bot Analytics. So this is virtually having a more in-depth look at other people's bots, and it can show you who's performed the best and all that sort of stuff. So it looks like at the moment, a lot of people have been trading Bitcoin Cash SV, obviously because it had a bit of a run today, so a lot of people's bots would have been quite active trading that. This guy in particular had 202 trades in 24 hours. We can click on the eye, which will just go into a little bit of view so we can see his settings. And if we want to use his settings, we can literally just copy it and turn this bot on. So, this is basically all his settings. And you can just virtually copy it and turn it on, and you can start trading as well. And hopefully make as much gain as what he did. We'll go over the settings in a second. I just want to show you a little bit more about the analytics. So today's best pairs, the best pairs were SV, MDA, RVN, QKC, BTC, etc. And it shows you how many deals. So that's how many active trades the bots have done on 3commas only, and how many bots there actually were. So there was 367 bots running on SV today, and they traded successfully to 7,188 times. So that's a lot of trades. Composite bots are virtually the same thing as the simple bots. Same settings and everything like that. The only difference is it trades multiple pairs. So this guy had, this is actually pretty average, but this had 309 deals for the day as opposed to SV's 202. Normally these are up around the 800 to 1,000 deals in a day because they are trading multiple pairs. So this guy's actually trading 127 different pairs. So he might be on a few different exchanges here. But when we go, that didn't go into it, did it? Try again. Doesn't want to click. Unable. Oh, okay. So I don't have the subscription yet, so I can't go onto it. But normally when you click that, you can have a look at his settings, but you'll see that he's actually trading 127 different pairs. So he's using the same algorithm for his bot, but he'll be trading BTC ETH, BTC ONT, BTC NEO. Yeah, he'll be trading all those at once, and as long as the bot sees the signal to buy, it'll buy, and then if it sees the signal to sell, it'll sell. So he's trading multiple coins at once. So the composite bots are essentially a simple bot, but you can trade multiple pairs instead of just one single pair. Did I click on bots or My Bots? Again, My Bots. So you've got a few different options for bots now. You got your short bot, your simple bot, composite bot, or your composite short bot. So the simple bot, as it mentions, is just a simple buy and sell with an algorithm on a single coin or token. Composite is the same thing but with multiples, and then a short bot obviously is shorting coins. I'm not going to be able to go into it because I don't have the subscription on this account, but sorry. What I will do, if I go, okay, so we can have a look at this guy, and then that'll allow me to show you the run through on the settings. Okay, so this guy's bot is trading on Binance, and his pair is BTC MTH, and it's a short strategy. Target profit of 1%. So every time this bot sees 1% profit on the trade, it'll sell and then wait for the next buy signal. His base trade is 0.009 BTC. So that means every time it buys, it's buying 0.009 BTC worth of MTH. Okay, so it's only trading a small amount each time, and it's only getting 1% each time. But if it trades 202 times a day, that's not bad profit. So if we work that out, ads, you've got a calculator there, 0.009, so what's that, 90,000 sats or something, 900,000 sats?
Yeah.
What's 1%
Of that?
Yep. 900 sats? 9,000 sats?
0.00009.
Yep. Times
so 9,000 sats.
202?
So 0.018.
Okay, so bare minimum, this bot made 0.018 Bitcoin today without even touching the thing. You literally just turn it on and walk away, and it made, what's that, about 120 bucks, 180 bucks?
$67 US.
US, so yeah, about, say, 100 bucks Australian.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. That's bare minimum, and that's in a day. Okay, that's bare minimum, only risking 0.009, which is what, fucking 20 bucks or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But it may have actually made more, because what you've got here is a safety trade. So what happens is, in the case of a normal simple bot, it does the base buy of 0.009 BTC, and it waits for that 1% profit to sell. But if the price comes down, it will do another safety trade and buy another 0.008 BTC, which will then just bring your dollar cost average down a little bit, so that it doesn't take as long to get 1% again before the bot can sell. But when it does sell, it'll be selling a higher amount at 1%. So it'll actually make more money. So when I said at minimum it made about $100 USD, it depends how many times it did safety trades, and it's allowed to do 5 safety trades. Okay, so every time it goes down, it'll buy another 0.008 BTC. So it could end up with $100 in the game. And then if it takes that 1%, then it's making, it's making $1 each time or whatever, it'll just keep trading. So, there is benefits to bots if you got them set up right and the market's set well for it. In a bearish market like this, I personally wouldn't be running bots. Price deviation for the open safety trade. So if the way this guy had it configured, if he entered whatever this trading pair was with his 60 bucks or whatever it was, if the price moved lower by 1%, then it would buy another 0.08 BTC, 0.008 BTC. So yeah, you can set your deviation price. There's a bunch of new features that they added, which I haven't played around with yet, but yeah, so there's some pretty cool features with your bot once you learn how to configure them. If you never played around with bots, maybe don't, or really read up on it, and I know we might be able to do a session on bots and how to do it all, but you can have a play around with them, but I don't recommend it if you're just getting started with them. So the main thing we come to 3 commas is the smart trade. Hang on, one more thing I haven't covered yet. Portfolios. So much like the bot marketplace area, there's a portfolio marketplace area. Now what this is, you can create your own portfolio and analyze it, and it will show you how well it would have gone over this month. But you can also see other people's portfolios. So what this person would do is they would buy, or they don't necessarily have to buy, they can just tell you this is what they're going to do. And they buy all these amounts of coins. And then over the month, you can track how well it would have played out. If you start to see a bit of a trend where some guy in particular who you're following or liking is consistently having banger portfolios, you may look at actually following this guy and seeing what he's doing, because he might actually be onto something. Obviously, with the markets this shit, not many people are really doing that well. As you can see over the month, this guy, if this guy had just held what he had bought, he'd actually be down 44%. And as you can see, they're all pretty very similar because the market's been so shit this month. But yeah, we'll see if we can have a view on it. May not let us with this subscription, but we'll have a try. Oh, yeah, cool. All right, so this is a little bit more in-depth look at his portfolio. And like I said, you can create your own one and see how it goes. So this shows you over the month his BTC value and his USD, I believe. Is the overall BTC value and the overall USD value of his portfolio. So you can see it's dropped rapidly in dollars in USD, but it's sort of somewhat maintained his Bitcoin value. It shows you here, the percentage loss. Pie graph showing his allocations to his portfolio, the basic rundown on what he's got, and then here it shows you the percentage in his portfolio. So when he started, it may have been different, but obviously as prices rise and lower, the percentage in his portfolio will obviously increase and decrease. So NEM, he was holding 27% of his portfolio is in NEM, 2.9% was in QKC, 37% was in Yo-Yo, and so on and so on. So he wasn't really holding any Bitcoin, which is probably why his portfolio dropped so much. But so it gives you an idea of the percentage of his portfolio, what he's invested in, and then it shows you the change in value as well. So yeah, it's pretty cool to keep track of things over time and see how you're going. Obviously, go away. Obviously, when the market's shit, it's a bit average to look at, but yeah, it's a pretty cool feature. So you've obviously got people who you follow. Well, I haven't followed anyone on this one, so I'll probably not have anyone there. But like I said, if you notice someone in particular who does pretty well, you might start following them and just keep an eye on what they're doing. And then if you go to my portfolios, you can create your own. I'm pretty sure you can create as many as you like, and you can choose whether or not you want to list them. I think it does keep track of your own portfolio as well. So you can create a new one, or you can analyze your own portfolio. So that's pretty much all the features of 3commas. We'll get into the main feature of 3commas, and that's why we're all here, which is the smart trade function. Because I haven't got a paid subscription on this account, I can't show you what happens when you actually activate a trade, but I've got some pictures that I'll show you how it all works. So from the main interface of the smart trade function, this is pretty much what you see. As you can see up here in these tick boxes, we've got trade terminal, which is this is our trade terminal. You've got your signals and trading view. If you click on signals, you'll see it loads up this screen here. And this is basically using trading view to show you strong buys or whether things are neutral, or sell signals and things like that, which you would have seen on trading view on the right hand side. Sometimes they've got that little meter there that will show you whether or not it's a buy signal. I wouldn't trust them because they're not generally very right. They'll generally say something's a strong buy when it's pumped, because it sounds like lots of people are buying it. So they're saying, oh, that's a good buy because lots of people are buying it. So yeah, but that could be a good time to sell. So they're not really that good of a signal to go by, but it is there if you use them. And then the other thing it does is it actually integrates trading view charts, and it will show you the order book for the exchange that you're trading on. So right now I'm on Binance, because as you can see up here, I'm on the Unity Trading Group Binance account. So it shows the order book for said coin that I'm on, which is ADA. And it shows a basic trading view chart, which you can play around with. I don't think you can actually put drawings on. I know you can put some basic indicators, but you can't draw on it as far as I know, or you might be able to if you go. No, I don't think you have the option to draw on it. I never bother. I just use these for quick looks when I'm doing some charts. So I'll just put it back on the normal candles. Okay, so let's just, what am I looking at? Ads. What coin should I look at?
Cork chain.
Oh, you want me to buy cork chain? Come on, bro. Give me something that might actually. Oh, actually, I can't buy anything anyway. So yeah, that's all right. We'll look at this. All right, so you've got a quick overview of the graph. So you wouldn't use this to do your TA. You'd obviously jump into TradingView, do your TA, find your entries and exits and things like that. But you would use this as just a quick look over just to see if things are still traveling the way you want while you're setting up your trade. So what you would do is you go, okay, I'm going to look for an entry, maybe back down here on support at around 1271. So we're on, you got a few different options: buy, sell, smart trade, smart sell, or smart cover. So smart trade is the one you want to use, which is the basics of setting up a buy, a profit take, and a stop loss in one. The smart sell is if you already own the coins. So if you've already got coins in your Binance account and you want to set up a smart trade, then you'd use smart sell, and then you'd set up the amount of coins that you've got that you want to sell. If you remembered the price you bought it up, or if you can just go look in your history and it will tell you how much you paid for it. And then from there, you can set up your take profit and your stop loss on a coin you already own. But for the sake of running through a complete trade plan, you'd use smart trade. So our entry price is going to be, say, 1274. So the amount of coins you want to buy, the amount of Bitcoin available in your account, the price you want to pay for it, the total amount of Bitcoin value, and you just got a quick percentage scale here that you can just quickly click and say, oh yeah, use 50% of my portfolio. Well, that'll buy 929 coins. On the price, you've got the current bid price. So this is all going through the Binance exchange. So the current bid price on Binance is 1308. The current ask price is 1307. So there's not a lot of difference there. The last close price was 1307. You can set your own limit order. You can buy at market, in which case it'll execute the trade straight away, but obviously you'll be straight into a loss. Or conditional is where you, technically it's like setting up a stop loss. You can tell when to buy off a signal. So if price comes down to here, you want to set a buy down here. So that's the conditional side of it. It's a little bit more tricky. I normally just use a limit because it's the easiest way to just assure that you get the price that you want. So we're going to set a price of 1273. So you'd simply type in 1273, and that's now the price that we're going to buy at. So once price comes down, it'll buy. And we're going to buy 200 coins, and that's going to cost me 0.002546 Bitcoin. You happy with that? Yep, cool. I'm happy to buy that many at this price. So then you'd set up to the take profit. There is an option here for trailing buy. We'll go over that last. Next, set take profit. Okay, so we want to, if we're just going to do some scalping, we're going to try and get the top of this market structure here. So 1350 is our target. So you can type in 1350, right? And that'll automatically adjust this scale, 6%. So we're going to take 6% profit. If we can come down and buy off this point here and sell at this point here, we're going to make 6% profit. You can literally just grab this and slide it around if you want. So let's just go back to say 6%. That's where our take profit is at 1349. And that's a market order, or you can do a limit order. That's up to you. So we'll just leave it on market for now. Now you can split your target. I don't think I've bought enough. So let's say I'm going to buy 500. No, I don't have enough funds. I'm going to buy 100%. So you can split your target. So instead of selling all of your coins here, you can do a form of risk management where you start averaging out your trades. So you might sell half of your coins here, and you might let the other half ride a little bit higher. So let's set a small, let's go say 4% to begin with. So our first lot of sales is going to be triggered at 1323. So we do a split target, and you can set the percentage scale of how much of your portfolio of said coin that you want to sell. So obviously if you set it to 50%, that's going to sell half of your coins when it gets 4% in profit. The other half is going to carry on until you set the next trade up. So let's just say we're going to sell, I don't know, 30%, add take profit. Okay, so that's logged that one in the book now. So that take profit order is set. The next lot of coins you're going to sell at that 6% mark because you're pretty confident that you're going to hit there, and you're going to sell maybe 40%, 44%. Hit target. Okay, so now you got another 44% of your coins are going to get sold at 6%, and the other one you're going to try and shoot for the moon. You're going to go for 10%. All right, and then you just obviously set the rest of your 25% of the rest of your coins. Add target. All right, now you're all set. You've got all three of those targets in place. You're going to average out your bags in that order. To use trailing, you click it to enable it, and then you've got a percentage sliding scale here. You can actually type it in here if you really want to get down to 2.5 or something like that. But oops, scale. So the way you use trailing, it acts as a target to hit, and once the target's hit, it technically puts stop loss 4% lower than the current price. So the reason you would use this, as an example, let's say this would probably be a really good example, although I know this percentage scale is not going to be right, but let's say your take profit was here and your entry was here. Whoops. Okay, so in a traditional market, you would have your take profit set here. Okay, and that'll be a 36% trade, 33% trade. All right, you take profit and you're out and you're waiting for a pullback. You're moving on to the next coin, whatever you're done with it. Okay, so you could have made 33% on that. But if you had a trailing buy, what would have happened is it would have triggered at this price and put a stop loss. Let's just say 10% below the trigger price. So what would happen is as the price comes up, bang, it hits your sell target and it puts a stop loss in the order book at this price here. Let's just say it was just below that wick so we didn't get stopped out. Okay. So as price comes up, bang, it triggers and puts a stop loss just below the current price. And then you give it a little bit of a breather and then it takes off. And what will happen is as the price moves up, your stop loss will keep moving up 10% below the current price. So what would have happened in this case is you would have actually sold right up here. Okay. So if you had just a traditional take profit and in your sleep, the price did this, a traditional take profit, you would have taken 33% and that would have been it. If you were using 3 commas with trailing buy, you would have made 99% because you would have caught all of that. And then as the price dumped, it would have sold here at market and you would have locked in 99% profit instead of 33% profit. So that's the benefit of a trailing buy. It's, trailing sell target. It works on coins that could have potential FOMO pushes when there's announcements or coin listing and things like that is when you would ideally use the trailing buy. You can use it all the time, but it can be tricky when price fluctuates a lot. You have to sort of give it a bit of a breather room, but then if you're giving it too much of a breather room, you could end up taking a loss or selling it, a very flat price or even small profit, even though it was sitting at 10%. So it's hard when the market isn't moving a lot. Ideally, you'd probably just set your take profit, or you might use a very, very tight trailing, but then you run the risk of getting stopped out too early instead of catching the top. So it's a little bit of mucking around. When price is flat and fluctuating, or how we have a lot of price action back and forward right now, you probably wouldn't really use trailing. But in a bull market, you'd probably use trailing because there's a good chance you're going to catch a lot more percentage gain than you would if you were just doing a simple take profit order. So your take profit order is set. Now let's set a stop loss. You can actually turn this off or you can turn it on if you want to run one. Technically, once your take profit orders are triggered, you have a stop loss in there now. But before your take profit orders are triggered, you don't have a stop loss. So you would set a stop loss here. Again, you can just use the percentage scale to set up your rough estimate, or you would quickly go have a look at the book and say, oh yeah, look, if it gets to 1178, I might look to bail. So you go 1178, all right, and it's a 7.5%. So you just give 9% of a stop loss. You can use stop loss timeout, which means it will trigger, but it will sit there for 5 minutes before, in case price comes back up. So sometimes you can come down and get wicked out, and then price will move back up. I think what this stop limit does is it allows the price to sort of sit there for whatever time you give it, to allow it to have a breather and come back up. But if it keeps dumping, it'll sell. I haven't used the feature yet because it's only new, but I'm pretty keen to give it a try out. I'll try it out on some lower value stuff to see how well it works. But essentially that's the function of it. And of course you can set up trailing on your stop loss as well. I'm pretty sure it just uses the same trail percentage over here. But yeah, as I said, you set up a stop loss because you want to have take profit, and you want to have a protection in place for your capital at the same time. So always set up a stop loss and a take profit. But essentially, if you're setting up trailing, once your take profits are hit, you have a stop loss already. Well, in the case of these three, you would have a stop loss for the first bag once that target's hit, and so on and so on. But the main benefit is the fact that you can sort out your trade plan. So if your trade plan is, you've done your TA and you can see a trade here, and that's your trade, or you say that's your trade with a bit of trailing, and there's your stop loss. So you can buy here, your stop loss here, and your profit here, and hopefully it goes higher. So then you can go, this is how many coins I want to buy, this is the price I want to buy them, this is where I want to sell them, and this is where I want to dump them if the prices turn into shit. All right, so you can set everything up in one place, press create trade, it will log it down here. Once it's logged, you can go to sleep and know that the trade is going to play out the way you said. You're either going to win and take profit, or you're going to get stopped out for whatever loss that you believed it was good for. Once you actually create a trade, it pops it down here, and you can create as many as you want. I don't think there's any limits on how many trades you can set up. There used to be on the lower plans, you could only trade 5 different pairs at a time, but the higher plans you could trade more. But I think they've lifted that now. So you can set up as many as you want, and they all just show up down here. They also, I'll show you how they look. So this is obviously displayed just under here. I can't do it because this isn't a paid subscription, but once you've authorized them, this is how they sort of look. So they actually look like this one to begin with, because it hasn't been triggered yet. So you can see here, buy order has been placed at that specific price. This is the current bid price, and that's the current ask price. So it's a little bit far off him being hit. It also tells him how many coins he's trying to buy, the amount of Bitcoin it's worth, and the time and date that it was set up. Okay, and then once that order gets triggered, so if price comes back down to 7,800 sats, it will buy, and it will look just like this. So it gives you a nice pictorial, a nice visual to show you exactly how your trade plan is set up. So that's his trade plan, and essentially what you're looking at is this on, side on. That's essentially what you're looking at. This is his buy. It says here 1490 on this specific token. 1490. Here's his take profit up at 2,000, and his stop loss is set at 1,115. Now, as the price moves around, on the fly, on real time, this will sort of change. So it'll be a nice green bar up here, and it will say how much percentage. You can see here it says 0. So obviously, if it come up here, it might say 6, 7, 8% or whatever. It comes back down here, it'll be in the red until it gets stopped out, and then this order will close, and it will say everything here. Over on this corner here, it'll show you your current profit and loss in Bitcoin value. So as it starts going up, it'll show here, you're in profit by 300 sats or 6,000 sats, whatever, on the fly. If it's lagging a little bit, you can click this button here, and that'll just refresh it and update the chart for you, because it is a little bit lagged. I think you can manually set in the settings, you can manually set how many seconds before it updates or something like that, or auto updates. And then these 3 dots here on the settings, once you're in a trade here, you can click that and you can edit your trade. So then that'll take you back to this screen here. Obviously you can't edit your buy screen, but you can still edit your take profit and stop loss. So if you think, oh, I've entered that trade now, but I want to make some adjustments, no problem. Click edit, go in, make your adjustments, click save, and it will adjust your trade plan accordingly. Like if you thought, fuck, I wouldn't mind giving the stop loss a little bit more breather, you can do that. Or if you want to tighten things up a bit, or you want to drop your take profit, you can do that as well. Also, when you click it, you have the option to panic sell or just cancel your trade. So if you press cancel your trade, it'll keep your coins because you've already bought them, but it just cancels your trade plan. So now there's no orders in the book. You're holding onto your coins right now. So then if you wanted to set up another trade plan, you would have to go into Smart Sell, select said coins that you just bought and canceled. So you select them, type in all your details, and then set a new trade plan. There's not much reason you do that though. And then the other option is to panic sell. So if you're sitting at say 6% profit and you're happy with that, but you don't think the trade's going to play out, no worries. Just click panic sell. It'll sell at market and you'll lock in that 6%. So that's another handy feature as well. You don't have to log on to the exchange and go into all the different features and set up a price and do this and press thing and wait for it to get hit. Just press panic sell. Bang, done. 6%. You'll take it. So pretty handy feature. This is just another picture here that Ad's got before. So obviously it shows you the pair, the amount of units he's bought, the price of Bitcoin, and it shows his profit and loss here. So you can see here that this guy's obviously in a negative at the moment. He doesn't have a stop loss set as well. You can see there's no SL. So that's just currently riding in a negative, and that'll obviously just keep going if the price keeps going down. As it comes back over in profit, it'll show. So it says 1.82% loss, and that's how much Bitcoin is lost at the moment. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for 3commas. Really handy feature if you're very active trading altcoins in arranging or bull market. I definitely recommend giving it a shot if you're playing with a decent amount of money, if you can justify the subscription base, obviously. But it is very, very handy, and I think a few of you guys who we ran through last month who have now signed up and they're using it, I think they'll sort of attest to how well 3commas can benefit your trading on catching those top pumps, or just the fact that you've got a really nice trade plan set in place and you can trade in confidence, because it takes away your emotion side of it. You can set your trade up and then leave the fucking thing alone. Walk away, go to work, go to bed, whatever. Your trade plan's set. You don't have to worry about what it's going to do. It's going to do it for you. You've already told it. You've already said, I'm risking this much and I'm going to gain that much. You've already told it what to do, so you don't have to do anything. You've rolled the dice, let it play out. So it can really benefit you because it removes that emotional side of trading, which, let's face it, is probably one of the biggest killers in all of our trading is our emotional side of things getting the better of us. I'll answer some questions now on 3commas. If anyone's got some, you can unmute yourselves, or we'll just go over the questions. Ads, you want to read some out to me, bro?
Yeah. Let's have a look. I answered a few, but that's all right. I answered a few just while you were talking inside.
Yep.
If your profit or stop loss execute, are they cancelled automatically, or do you need to cancel them manually?
So if either hit, they're cancelled.
Yeah.
So if my take profit order hit and I sold all my coins, your stop loss is gone. Yeah, it's not like BitMEX where your order stay there and you got to sit there and cancel it. It's all automated. So same thing as if your stop loss hit, your take profit order's gone, because you're only buying and selling coins. You're not buying contracts long or short. You're literally just buying a coin and selling a coin. So you can't sell a coin if you don't own it. So it'll just technically cancel it out. It'll disappear on its own. You don't have to manually go and change anything.
There's not a lot of questions, bro.
No, everyone pretty happy with it?
Everyone seems to be.
Well, we did go over it last week as well, so I guess most people probably would have got an idea about it already.